Am I allowed to call this underrated? I feel like it's underrated. It's no secret that Korean food is my favorite in the whole world, and perhaps the biggest staple dish for most Korean households is Doenjang Jjigae, which translates to soybean paste stew. My love for this was reawakened during my recent trip to Koreatown in New Jersey, where I got to have this a handful of times. It's just so deeply flavored and homey tasting, and it doesn't even take that long to make. I'm not Korean, so this definitely isn't the most traditional way to make it, but this is how I decided to do it this time. But the thing about this dish is there's no one right way to do it. Every family and household is going to have their own recipe for it. But I'll just show you my own personal blueprint. By the way, this amount should make like 4 nice meal-sized portions. I'm first going to very roughly dice about half of a large yellow onion. For this, I like to leave my main vegetables and tofu about the same size, just so they end up in the soup at the same size. And speaking of main vegetables, I'm also going to dice up a whole zucchini, again in these semi-big dice sizes. And what would be traditional here is a gochu or a Korean chili pepper, but my Korean mart doesn't even carry those, so I'm just using these Thai chilies, which are far spicier than gochu, so I'm only going to use a couple of these and just remove the ribs and seeds.
Remove the ribs and seeds if you still want to be able to breed.
Then I'm dicing up about a half to 3/4 of a pound of medium tofu. In my opinion, tofu is not optional for this dish, you have to have it every time. Then I'm separating the whites and the greens of a scallion, saving those greens for garnish. And then I'm going to peel and dice up a small to medium sized russet potato. And you can definitely stop here and it would taste great, but a lot of people include meat as well, which I'm partial to beef and I decided to do that this time. I had about 3/4 of a pound of sirloin in the freezer, so I just used that and sliced it up very thinly. Now to get cooking, I have a medium sauce pot going over medium heat, starting with a little neutral oil, and then I'm going to add in my sliced beef, just trying to flatten that out into one layer and then flip it over, getting a nice sear on both sides. And towards the end of that, I'm going to add in like 6 to 8 cloves of minced garlic. I'm going to let those bloom with the beef for a really nice flavor. And lastly, I'm going to add in the diced potato to give that a head start over the rest of the vegetables. And once you've stirred these around for a few minutes and got a nice fond on the bottom, it's time to deglaze. You can totally just use regular water here, but I'm going to use rice water. And that's just what it sounds like. It's the rinsing water left over from the rice that we soaked before cooking. Since this is typically served with rice and you should always rinse your rice anyway, you should have this. I used the water from the second rinse, by the way, just to make sure that any dirt or anything else was left out in the first rinse. Also, since I had the water, I also soaked a couple of dried shiitakes because I had those as well, and mushrooms go great in this soup. So anyway, I'm just adding a bit of that into the sauce pot and scraping away to get that fond off the bottom. And once I'm confident I have all the fond lifted off, I'm going to dump the rest of the water in, which is about 2.5 cups in total. A really common addition in this soup is dashi, which is basically a soup base that comes in many different forms. It certainly boosts the umami and deep flavor of whatever soup you add it to. I happen to have hondashi, which is dried bonito flakes, and it works perfectly here. A couple of pinches should do, but you can always adjust this to your taste later. Then in with the rest of my vegetables and chilies. Just stir everything around to combine, and then we're going to add in our title ingredient, which is doenjang. Doenjang is a Korean fermented soybean paste, similar to miso in Japanese cooking, and it's going to bring the depth of flavor that we need to make this soup taste like it's been cooked for a long time. You should be able to find this at your local Asian market. The trick to incorporating this is with either a ladle or a strainer. I'm going to put about 5 tablespoons in there and use a spoon to just kind of stir that in. Keeping it in the strainer localizes it so you can dissolve it right where you're at instead of losing it in the soup. But that said, you can still dissolve it within the soup, it just probably takes longer and is a little harder to find. I'm also adding in an optional spoon of gochujang or Korean chili paste. You can omit it if you don't want the spice. Okay, once we have all that together, we're going to bring it to a boil, and then I'm going to cover it and leave it at a medium boil instead of a low simmer for like 30 minutes to an hour. And I'd say about halfway through that is when we can add our tofu. You don't want to add it in too early because it'll mush up. That's really all you need. Afterwards, your soup should have thickened up from the starches in the potato and the rice water, and now it's time to taste for seasonings. Instead of salt, I'm first going to go in with some Joseon Gwanjang, which is Korean soy sauce specifically for soups. It's a little more premium tasting and it's a little bit more expensive as well, but also this is what I use for my everyday soy sauce anyway. I only add a small splash of that, and if I still feel like my soup is a little bland, I'm going to add in more doenjang. That's also packed with salt and umami flavor, so it should boost up the flavor of your soup nicely. If you want some more spice, you can add in some Gochugaru or Korean chili flakes or more gochujang, or you can go with more water if you feel like it's too thick. But that's basically it. This is your Doenjang Jjigae, and it only takes about an hour from start to finish. If you want to be traditional, you can grab one of these earthenware pots, which you can buy at your Asian market. They retain heat really well, so they'll keep your soup warm throughout your whole meal. And also, side note, they're the best way to reheat your leftovers. You can stick them right on the stove and heat them up that way. That'll get you that boiling effect at serving time. But you can just garnish this with the scallion greens and serve it with rice and kimchi. This is easily had as a snack, but I wanted to make it my meal this time. So without further ado, let's taste test. I've been meaning to make this for quite a long time now, but especially since visiting New Jersey and eating it a few times in Koreatown a couple months ago. I don't know if it really is fair to compare this to miso soup, because this one usually has a lot more ingredients than that does, but regardless, I definitely like this one a lot better. Cheers. This is the perfect meal if you ask me. Korea has this all figured out. I don't know if I could have this for breakfast, but any other time of the day, it would definitely work. And this is one of those things that's super customizable, so you can add in things that you like and keep out things that you don't like. Nobody really has a standard recipe for this. Everyone kind of does it their own way. The next time I make this, I might do it completely different. Depends on what I have in the fridge and what I'm able to get access to and what I'm in the mood for. But if you don't have any Korean restaurants around you, or you've never tried this, or you're just trying to shake it up and try something different for fall comfort food, this is definitely something worth doing. It took me a long time to make this because you do have to buy a lot of separate ingredients, and it's a lot of stuff that I don't normally have on hand, but still, it's definitely worth doing. This kimchi is the perfect texture and flavor contrast to the soup. Yes. But that's going to be it for me today. If you would try this, let me know what you would do differently. Otherwise, thank you all for watching, be blessed, and I'll see you next time. Now I get to clean up.